The real breakup doesn't happen when she walks away. It happens long before that, quietly, invisibly, when she stops looking at you like a man. You didn't notice it at first. She still answered your texts, still laughed at your jokes, still laid beside you at night. But something changed. Her eyes didn't linger the same. Her tone softened. Not out of love, but out of pity. And that fire, the one that once burned hot with admiration, had turned cold. She stopped fighting for you, not because she stopped caring, but because she no longer saw a man worth fighting for. And you never saw it coming. Not because she said anything, but because she didn't have to. Respect doesn't die with shouting. It dies in silence, when she no longer expects more from you because deep down, she already gave up. That was the moment you truly lost her. The silent shift. In most relationships, men lose power slowly, not suddenly. At first, everything was on your terms. You picked the date, you made the move, you had vision. But with time, you started compromising. Not just plans, but principles. You gave up things that once defined you. You became easier to be with. And she started testing you, not to be cruel, but to feel your strength. Every time you backed down, she noticed. Every time you avoided conflict to keep the peace, she saw a man afraid to lead. The shift was silent, subtle, not one loud argument, just a slow erosion of certainty. You began asking instead of deciding. You sought permission instead of respect. And what she once admired, your fire, your edge, began to fade. She didn't stop loving you overnight. She just stopped feeling safe in your frame. Because deep down, she doesn't want control. She wants to feel your unshakable core. Power in a relationship isn't about domination. It's about staying rooted in your values, no matter how loud the storm gets. And when you lose that, you lose her slowly too. Third, psychology of power loss. Women don't want control. They want to feel safe under yours. Power isn't something you scream about. It's something you hold quietly until the world bends around it. But the moment you start giving that power away, you stop being the man she was drawn to. Power loss begins subtly. It looks like an apology when you didn't do anything wrong, just to keep the peace. It sounds like letting her mood dictate your actions, your words, your tone. It feels like compromise. But what you're really doing is surrendering your frame. And here's the kicker. She feels it. She sees you stepping back to avoid conflict. She senses when your decisions come from fear, not clarity. Let's talk about the emotional manipulation cycle. Pity, shame, anger. These are not just emotions, they are tactics. Unconscious sometimes, but effective. First, she'll pity you. You're too sensitive. Then shame you. A real man wouldn't act like this. Then comes the anger. You never care about how I feel. If you fold in response, trying to fix everything, you're not helping her feel safe. You're helping her feel in control. And that's not what she wants. She wants to relax into your certainty, not wrestle for it. Putting her emotions above your purpose may feel noble, but it's not love. It's fear. And fear isn't masculine. When you give up your frame, you don't become safer. You become replaceable. And no woman is attracted to the man she can emotionally lead. Fourth case. Study. Modern relationships. Jake was a confident man when he first met Emily. Grounded, assertive. He made decisions with clarity and led their relationship with quiet strength. Emily was drawn to that. His calm dominance made her feel safe, desired, and feminine. But as months passed, things shifted. She began to test boundaries, Small things at first, changing plans last minute, withholding affection, setting new rules for how he should behave. Instead of holding his ground, Jake folded. He began over-apologizing, over-giving, seeking her approval like a child trying to earn back love he feared losing. He lost frame. Rather than feeling drawn closer, Emily pulled away emotionally. She didn't leave the relationship, but she disconnected. Cold texts, rare intimacy, contempt began to replace connection. Jake tried harder. More dates, more gifts, more validation, and still, nothing. Why? Because the unspoken contract of polarity was broken. Masculine energy leads, feminine energy responds. That doesn't mean control. It means direction, structure, security. When Jake gave up leadership to avoid conflict, Emily no longer felt held, no longer felt turned on. Her feminine nature couldn't relax into submission because his masculine had collapsed. Jake didn't realize. In trying to please her, he unknowingly became less of what she needed. And in that quiet shift, the relationship died long before it ended. The addiction to approval. Men aren't losing power because of women. They're losing it because they hand it over willingly. When a man becomes obsessed with being liked, he begins to compromise his values, his mission, and his sense of self. This need to be liked is not kindness. It's weakness disguised as virtue. You cannot lead someone you fear losing. Leadership, whether in a relationship or in life, requires clarity, self-assurance, and detachment from outcome. A man anchored in purpose does not seek validation. Approval-seeking is the quiet disease that emasculates men, turning them from bold leaders into timid followers. It's the reason some men tolerate disrespect, ignore red flags, and shrink themselves just to keep her interested. But here's the truth. Women don't trust men who chase their validation. They may manipulate them, use them, or tolerate them, but they won't admire them. Respect is born from strength, not submission. The man who stands firm in who he is, whether she stays or leaves, is the man who commands true power. Approval is earned, not begged for. Sixth, the Stoic reset, reclaiming your frame, especially when emotions run high, requires Stoic discipline. It's about detaching from the outcome and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your internal state. The first step in reclaiming your frame is to detach emotionally from the outcome. Whether it's a relationship, an argument, or a decision, you must practice indifference to the results. This means not letting your happiness, sense of worth, or peace be dependent on how others react or the end result. Next, reconnect with your mission and identity. Understand who you are and what you're striving for. Your mission is the compass that guides your actions, and it should always be your focus. When you know your worth and purpose, it becomes easier to ignore distractions and remain steadfast in your actions. Lead with structure. Here's what I do. You're welcome to join. This statement exemplifies confidence and clarity, offering no room for negotiation or doubt. It's about leading by example, not pleading for validation. Boundaries are key, calmly stated, ruthlessly enforced. Set clear lines that protect your peace. Don't engage in unnecessary conflict or compromise your values. Never argue, never explain. Sometimes the most powerful response is silence. Let your absence speak for itself when needed. It's not about controlling others. It's about maintaining direction in your life. Remember, frame is not control. It's direction. You don't control how others behave, but you control where you go. Stoicism teaches that mastering yourself and your response to the world is the highest form of power. When you embrace this, no one can take your peace or sway your sense of purpose. A powerful closing message, drawing on the themes of self-respect, inner strength, and leadership. It emphasizes the importance of staying true to oneself and never compromising for external validation or comfort. The idea that true power comes not from demanding it, but from embodying it with unwavering confidence, is a strong message of Stoicism. The choice between the beginning and the end highlights the transformative journey that lies ahead, making this a thought-provoking and impactful conclusion. If this resonated with you, dive deeper into the world of Stoic masculinity and attraction psychology. Learn how to reclaim your power and maintain control, all without manipulation. Follow for more transformative insights.